When we talk about the world's most expensive cars, it's so easy to just get lost in all the zeros. But what we're really talking about here are legends. These are not just machines, they're rolling sculptures, they're time capsules, priceless artifacts of human achievement. So today, we're going to go way beyond the price tag to figure out what makes a car truly legendary.
It's a pretty wild question, isn't it? I mean, think about it for a second. When a collection of metal, glass, and rubber can fetch a price that rivals a Monet or a Picasso, it has clearly become something more. It's not just a car anymore. It's a piece of history you can actually touch, hear, and feel.
So, to understand these mind-boggling values, we need to look at them through a very specific lens. And it all really boils down to three key things. Rarity, because, scarcity creates desire. Craftsmanship, the pure artistry of its shape and how it works. And maybe the most important one, historical significance, the stories that are literally etched into its metal. This is going to be our guide for today's journey.
All right, let's get into it. Let's begin our climb up the ladder of automotive immortality. We're going to start our countdown with cars that are already in a completely different league. Every single one of them a legend. And here it is, the elite club we're exploring today. You can see a pattern right away, can't you? There's this fierce rivalry between two absolute titans, Mercedes-Benz and Ferrari, and they just dominate the very top of the automotive world. Kicking off our countdown at number 10, we have a perfect example of that historical significance pillar. This isn't just some 1954 Mercedes-Benz Grand Prix car. This is the car that the legendary Juan Manuel Fangio drove to victory. Its almost $30 million price tag is completely tied to the hands that gripped its steering wheel. Coming in hot at numbers 9 and 8, we've got a pair of prancing horses, the Ferrari 412P and the 335S. They were both absolute titans of endurance racing. Their battle scars, their victories on the track, that's a huge part of their story. It just goes to show a powerful motorsport history is like rocket fuel for a car's value.
All right, let's move on to our next car. This one has one of the best underdog stories in racing history. This is the 1964 Ferrari 250 LM, a car built for private racers to go up against the big factory giants.
This quote, it tells such an incredible story. I mean, just imagine this. A small, independent team shows up to the world's toughest race and beats the official Ferrari factory team in their own car. That's exactly what this car did in 1965. And that giant killer legacy is why it's worth over $36 million today.
Okay, now we get to something you just don't see, ever. At number 6, 5, and 4, we see 3 examples of the exact same model. This is the legendary Ferrari 250 GTO, a car so revered that 3 different ones sold for $38.1, $38.5, and an absolutely astounding $48.4 million.
So why? Well, this perfectly explains why the GTO is considered by so many to be the holy grail of collector cars. It's the perfect storm of those 3 pillars we talked about. It is incredibly rare, only 36 in existence. Its design is just pure art, and its purpose was legendary. A machine you could drive to the track, win the race, and then drive home. All right, take a deep breath. We are now entering the Pantheon, the top 3. And here, the numbers, they just leap into another dimension. And the stories behind the cars, well, they become true automotive mythology.
At number 3, we have another 250 GTO, but hold on. This one is very, very special. It's known simply as the One. Why? Because this is the only GTO that was ever officially raced by the factory team Scuderia Ferrari. It has a direct, unbroken link to Enzo Ferrari himself.
$51.7 million. Just let that sink in for a second. That is the price you pay for that kind of story. Being the one and only factory race GTO gives this car a history that no other can match. And now for number 2. The 1954 Mercedes-Benz W196R Stromlinigenwagen. That name literally means streamlined car, and man, its futuristic, all-enveloping bodywork looked like it was from another planet back in 1954. This car is pure motorsport royalty.
$53.9 million. Wow. For a very long time, this was the most expensive Grand Prix car ever sold. Its value comes not just from that groundbreaking design, but from the legends who actually sat inside it.
You see, this car is pure history on wheels. It didn't just have one legendary driver, it had 2. It won a Grand Prix with the master, Juan Manuel Fangio, and it set a fastest lap with the icon, Sir Sterling Moss, behind the wheel. It's a vessel that carried the talent of two of the greatest drivers who ever lived.
And so, here we are. Number 1. A car that didn't just break the record for the most expensive car ever sold at auction. It completely shattered it. This isn't just a car. It's the Mona Lisa of the automotive world.
This is it. The 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe. For nearly 70 years, this car was not for sale. It was a crown jewel of Mercedes-Benz's own private collection, a car the company swore up and down it would never, ever sell.
$143 million. That's not a typo. More than double the number 2 car. It's a price that's almost impossible to wrap your head around, and it belongs to a car with a story unlike any other.
So what on earth makes it worth that much? Well, it starts with the ultimate rarity. It is one of only 2 ever made, and it bears the name of its creator, the legendary engineer Rudolf Uhlenhaut, who actually used it as his personal company car. Think about that. It was basically the fastest road car in the world in its day.
But the story gets even better. The sale itself was a historic moment. Mercedes-Benz held a private, invitation-only auction, and the proceeds were used to create a global fund for young people working on environmental science and decarbonization. So in a way, they sold a legend to help create a new legacy.
So after this incredible journey, it's pretty clear these cars have become something more. They're rolling works of art. And their breathtaking values tell us a story about what we as a culture decide is important, what we choose to value, to preserve, and to pass on to the next generation.
It really makes you ask the question, when a machine's primary value shifts from its horsepower to its history, what does it truly become? Maybe it becomes what we've seen today, timeless.